Hi everyone, Paul Morbid here, Morbid Team Entertainment and Bolex Repair Philippines. Is it worth using a cheap tripod? Well, today in this video we're going to show you if so or if not. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, this particular tripod will work great for a very light and inexpensive basic Super 8 camera, such as a Canon 310 XL. Alright, and as you can see here, just make sure whatever camera that tripod that you do get does have a wide base at the bottom, a wide expandable base for support. Okay, so that is a must. This one has a standard crank for up and down. Always want a level that's good. Alright, I prefer personally the just an inexpensive tripod, and I'll get into that later why this is so. I've had the very expensive ones years ago when I did photography for Star Wars talent, but today I just don't use that type of thing. I just use these very inexpensive ones. Okay, yes, it doesn't move around, it does vibrate. It's just made out of basic aluminum, pressed aluminum. Let's take a closer look. So if you see here, it's just pressed aluminum. That's all it is. Okay, and it's just something very, very basic, very, very standard. But there are some good points to this. Now once you get up to a camera, a single 8, Super 8, such as a Fujica single 8 Z800, it's quite a bit heavier of a camera. Okay, and when you start that motor, especially with something like a Bolex H16, especially, this camera is the motor is gonna vibrate. See how that vibrates already? You can just move that around and it's going to make the camera tripod move around and vibrate. You see that? All the way down to the leg work. Okay, so you may be able to see that, and you can see that down here at the bottom. See? So it's not at all suggested for many people, okay, who are looking for extreme perfection in filming. So you can see that. Alright, so you can see here I've got my Fujica single 8 ZC1000 on here, and this is a very heavy camera. Okay, it's just like a Bolex H16. Okay, to leave this camera sitting on this tripod is highly unsuggested, because what would happen down here, the quick release plate is made of complete plastic. It's just going to snap right off. Okay, that's exactly what's going to happen. So here, the minute you start this motor up, you can see the shaking of the whole camera, right? And that goes down to the entire tripod. You see that down there at the quick release plate, and down below at the neck of the tripod? You can just understand what a Bolex H16, the spring motor, would do. And it's just going to snap the camera off, you know. And there are other issues, and we'll get into that. So taking a closer look at this quick release plate, you can see it's just pure plastic. You get the metal screw right here, alright, but other than that, the weakest link is going to be right here, where the screw is just plastic and is just molded on to the screw. Okay, now today these are also connected to your cell phone as well. It has an adapter for that, and that's great. It also this type of tripod works, you know, superior for that. But for the, you know, again, for a light Super 8 camera, it works just great. Once you get to a Bolex, even an 8mm, it's going to cause issues. let's go further into this plate and I'll show you more about it. And there it is. This plate right here connects right into here. And you see, it's just basic plastic. That's it. Easy for a heavy camera to snap straight off of this. So for most people, a tripod like this would be a no-go. But what type of filmmaker would use a tripod like this? Let's take a look. So the type of filmmaker that would use the type of tripod, a cheap tripod, would generally be someone like me. The reason is, one of the major ones is that the type of places that I sometimes film be kind of rough, and if the tripod got missing by some chance, then I really haven't lost anything whatsoever. Plus, there are other important reasons as well. Now let's take a look and listen at those. I'm making experimental horror films in the styles of the 60s and 70s and back. Okay? Classic style of experimental films is what I'm making. So I want that shaky type of look. I don't want my camera to snap off and become damaged and have to go repair it. I don't want anything like that, of course. No one does. So rarely I'm using a tripod. I would not hook my Fujica ZC1000, anything heavy on there like that. And even if I did, I would hold on to it, but I can't see where I would just attach this camera right here onto the tripod that's holding up my cell phone as we speak right now. What I would do is, most of the time I'm using a handheld camera, just like the classic experimental horror film makers and filmmakers did of the avant-garde film did years ago, the late greats. So most of it's going to be handheld. I want that type of look and feel. And even a lot of people today want that type of look and feel. And, you know, even in any type of filmmaking they're doing. You know, I grew up, you know, in the 70s watching that type of filmmaking. It's not only what I'm accustomed to, it's what I enjoy. So that's the type of films I'm going to be making. Alright? So what you don't want to do is put a heavy camera on these inexpensive tripods that's going to snap right off of that quick release plate. That's going to be a no-no. Also, like a lot of people who use a Bolex H16, that spring in the clutch motor barrel as it turns is going to vibrate heavily. As we already know, you can feel it. And the vibration of that camera is going to shake that tripod madly, okay? And this is going to cause stability issues. So remember, if you get an inexpensive tripod, the one I'm using to talk to you right now, I probably paid $11 US for it, okay? It's going to cause, again, stability issues. It's going to vibrate mad-like, all right? So when you get your film processed, it's going to be jittery, big time. And those are the ins and outs of that. So if you get an inexpensive, cheap tripod, film with it, wonder why you have jittery film, then that's why. If you used a Bolex, a really heavy camera and stuff like that. And remember, if you get a plastic quick release plate, you don't want to do it. That thing snaps off, you know, you got a problem. You really do. Okay? Do contact me at the social media outlets provided on the screen. And remember, as always, do subscribe. Alright? Until next time, see ya!